Hello and welcome to this week's News You Can Use with me, Louise Brogan. What I want to do is share with you what is new on LinkedIn and what is best practice on LinkedIn, as well as a few other things. I did a talk in San Diego in the end of March about video on LinkedIn. And one of the things I talked about was a new feature that's coming up and appears to be here now. And that is adding video as your header to your LinkedIn newsletter or article. So let me show you now. Here we go. There we are. So I'm glad that worked. So you see on here, it says add a cover image or video to your article. Have you got a LinkedIn newsletter on your company page or on your personal profile? I'd like to hear if you're using this feature, first of all. And then I want to know, will you add video to the top of your newsletter? You may have heard me talk about LinkedIn newsletters before, and why they're so brilliant is that someone connects with you on LinkedIn, they are then invited to subscribe to your newsletter. So that's how your newsletter can grow. I have about 15,500 subscribers, or 15,500 followers, connections on LinkedIn, and around 6,500 people subscribe to my newsletter. So not everybody you are connected to will subscribe to your newsletter. That's the first thing. People will subscribe to your newsletter who are not connected to you. So they want to hear from your knowledge and tips and advice if you've got a regular newsletter, but they don't really care about connecting with you. So one of the benefits is when you include video in your newsletter and your subscribers receive the newsletter into their inbox on Hotmail, Gmail, Outlook, wherever they get their email, it will show up as a video clip email from LinkedIn. So that is the difference that this could make. I think it's really interesting. So I want to hear if anyone is going to use this. A video is going to have to relate to your newsletter. And then those video clips, I'm going to put the video, once it's edited, over onto YouTube, and then I'm going to I'm going to put the video then into my LinkedIn newsletter as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that can all connect up together, because it's saying upload the video from your computer, add a link to Vimeo or YouTube here. Whereas if you embed your video into your newsletter, you can use a YouTube link. If I send out my newsletter and it's relating to, say, company pages, and then I'm able to embed two of the videos I have on YouTube about company pages into the newsletter. So people read my newsletter, they click on the video and it takes them to my YouTube channel, which works really well for me. Obviously, LinkedIn want us to stay on their platform. Will we be able to trace who clicks on the video? Will we be able to see numbers and analytics on who's clicking on the video? These are the things we want to try stuff out, but only if we know that it's working and it's of benefit to us and our businesses. So we do need to have data to back the stuff up. So that is the first thing today: video at the top of your article or your newsletter. Very interesting. Okay, the next thing I want to talk to you about is AI on LinkedIn, but not the AI that people are obsessed with. We had a conversation yesterday at home about the M dash, and it's filtered out of the obsessives on LinkedIn, but it's filtered out into the real world. So we were having a laugh yesterday in a conversation about somebody who received a message from an ex, and it was really obvious that it was written by AI. So this couple split up, and the guy sent the woman a message. And how do you think she knew it was written by AI? Apart from it probably sounding a little bit robotic, it had the M dash in it. So come on, people, we all know these things now. So we had a bit of a laugh about that yesterday. That's great. Okay, but what I want to show you something regarding AI on LinkedIn that once you see it, you will notice this everywhere now. So this is, here we go. It is this one. So does anybody know how I know that something, it's the first comment? How do we know that first comment is AI, apart from the fact it's showing up here as an AI tool? It is the comma. It is the two words and then the comma and then the name. Nobody writes like that. Nobody writes, thanks for sharing, Louise, but thanks for sharing, comma, Louise. So when you see a comment that somebody has posted on someone else's LinkedIn post and it has a comma and then their name, I would put money on it being an AI generated comment. So once you see this, you can't unsee this now on other people's content. So just look out for it. So I did a test recently, what was it, but 2 weeks ago, where I did a post and I said, do me a favor, click on the first comment that the AI suggests to you here on LinkedIn. So in this example here, it would be, love this, Grace. And 90% of people wrote, thanks for sharing, Louise. And I thought, that's how you can tell that this comment is AI generated. So LinkedIn has all the notifications where Gareth commented on your post or Alex disconnected from you. But what is the bit below was really interesting to me. So it says, nail your interview of these 3 tips. And I'm looking at that person, I'm thinking, who is that? That's not a company or a company page. That's a person, and I don't recognize them. So LinkedIn has showed me a notification of a post that I don't even think I'm connected to this person, but I must double check. There it is in the middle of all my notifications. And I'm like, who is this person? And why are they showing up here? And when you click on it, it is a post that this woman has shared that is getting a lot of engagement. So LinkedIn have decided to show it in my notifications, even though I'm not following her. I'm not interested in this content either. So I thought it was really interesting. But if you look here, there are, like, there's the comma, thanks for sharing, comma, Saffron. 527 comments, 105 reposts, and 2,257 engagements on this post. So that was fascinating to me. And I thought, how have they got picked up here? Did they have the engagement and then LinkedIn decided to, yeah, because when I clicked on it, it was at this number already. But what's happening here? It's really interesting. Now, it's about careers, and LinkedIn are very actively pushing. Obviously, people go to LinkedIn to get jobs, but there's been some changes and they're really pushing. And they got listed in Time Magazine's top 100 businesses this week, I think. And it's all about how they're supporting people with their careers. So that was interesting. Comments they're getting. Stuff that they're not really. Look, thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. And then some guy just saying, don't bother turning up to your job interview. I think it's better to have your LinkedIn focused on your audience and helping your audience so that people engage with you who are interested in what you're having to say. If this person has 500, I know I have 300 and some, like 360 comments on that AI post that I did, but actually not huge reach, which is also interesting. I'm going to try and pull that up on screen as well. But we don't want these comments here. The AI, thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Just be careful what we wish for, I think is the answer there. Gareth, should I use the YouTube video in my header that I've often buried? Should I go back and correct old newsletters with this? Oh, actually, Gareth, that's interesting. I don't know if we can. That's a great question. Let's go and look at this newsletter thing. Can you all see my LinkedIn screen? Right, okay, you can. All right, so if we go to, let's see, the top of this, there's poor Saffron and her 520 million comments. Okay, so you go to write an article, and there is add a cover image or video to your article. Is it going to tell us what size of video we can do? So there's my StreamYard for LinkedIn Live MP4. That is, oh, it's going to let me do that one. That's interesting because that is actually setting up a LinkedIn Live with. So that's a 3-minute long video. Okay, so you can add a 3-minute video. We need to find out what size you can limit it. And if we go back then, Gareth, we'll look at what you were asking. Let's go and look at previous episodes or previous emails that I've gone on. If we wanted to edit this, edit article, can we change that top bit into a video? Edit cover. Add cover image or video. I guess we can. we would probably, I'm not going to do it on this actual video until I'm working on it. But oh yeah, that's where I went. Manage, publish. That's how you find your previous ones there. So you would delete it. I guess you remove it and then add a video in. Let me come back to you guys in StreamYard and see what questions you have. All right. Beth, any useful tips on getting started with company page newsletters, please, Louise? And in what way, Beth? Do you mean how to literally set them up, or do you mean what content to put in them? Because I can talk to both of those things. So let me go back to LinkedIn, and let's go to my company page here. So just go to the Me drop-down menu here, and we'll find Louise Brogan Limited. There we are. Did you know you can add 5 newsletters to your company page, by the way, not just the one? So let's go and create a title to your newsletter. How often do you want to publish? Daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly? Don't put yourself under pressure there, guys. Maybe start with monthly and see how you get on. Your description, your 300 by 300 pixel image here. And this is what I love, right? Your page followers will be invited to subscribe. You will be subscribed. And it will be featured on your page. So you can remove it from the featured section at any time. Given that the LinkedIn algorithm changes a lot, have you noticed anything about how best practice on company pages has changed in the last couple of months? So interestingly, on company pages on LinkedIn, I have been playing around with the paid pages. Let's go to my page, the premium page settings. So close that. All right. Scroll down, premium features on company pages. So here are the premium page accounts and features. Add a call to action, see who's visited your page, which is funny because I'm working with clients and they don't have premium, and I can still see who's following the page, but not necessarily who's visited the page. I love this bit, the standout custom testimonial. I'll show you that on my page in a second. Then we've got this auto invite. So is my page growth growing? Actually, yes, it is with a trickle. And so I've decided, I wrote about this week on LinkedIn, how the cobbler's children have no shoes. I am terrible at actually scheduling our own content. So I've got content scheduled through while I'm on holidays on the company page. So let's see what happens. All right, highlight your business's strengths. Now, what is that? Let's look at that. Share this tab instead. Let me not lose you guys. I'll check into StreamYard and see, am I in the right place? On the credibility head highlights on my page, I've got LinkedIn video packages featured, and then there's other highlights here as well. Okay. And then I have a testimonial. So I'll show you what that looks like actually on the page. Come out of there. View as member. This is my company page. This is also a premium feature, this moving slideshow at the top. I have 2 images in there. I am not crazy about the speed that moves at, but I'm testing it out to see what happens. So here is my custom button or featured button, LinkedIn video packages here. And then we have this lovely client testimonials. This is Gavin, who we worked with, and that was his testimonial, which is also showing up on my page. The question you're asking, is there a lot of changes to company pages? It's the same thing. Train your team, engage your team to interact with your company content, create content that people actually care about. And honestly, doing features on your team works really well. I've got premium here, highlights in here. This is just standard, this bit here, services is standard. And then we have the posts down here. With the premium page features, you'll see here who has visited your page. And there's my increase in followers because of the auto invite in followers here. Let's see. 17 page visitors, not huge, is it? Who has visited your page? Let's see. Patricia, who is a friend of mine. So now we can see who is visiting my page. And usually I get a lot of people who do LinkedIn stuff. All right, there we go. That's who's visiting the page. Are they following the page? Doesn't tell me whether they're following. It says that they're visiting them, but not necessarily that they are following. However, 2 custom button clicks. So that's nice. It's only in a month though. It's not brilliant. Yeah, that's interesting. Mostly on desktop and fewer on mobile. Beth, client wants to develop a community. So I guess value adding newsletter content is the way forward. If you are working in marketing for B2B services in manufacturing industry or supply chain, then create content that people in that industry are going to be interested in. People will read your newsletter if it's interesting, and write it to a human being as well. That's really important because it's a human being who's reading it. So make it interesting. One of the things we do that kicks out all of that off is actually auditing your existing company page. So looking at the company page, looking at areas for improvement. I just sent a report out today. It's about 5 pages long on a client that we're working with. And it is a full audit of their company page, looking at the analytics that count and making suggestions and improvements for going forward. Now I'm going to have a workshop with those folks next week, which I'm very much looking forward to. All right, let's just see. Let's see. If you are interested in that, guys, go to louisebrogan.com/inquiry and book a call so I can chat to you about doing an audit on your company page. And in the meantime, Matt has a question. I think I saw you at ChipFest. You might have suggested a newsletter containing a digest of that month's LinkedIn content was a good way into it. I think that's a good idea, Matt. I tend to write my newsletters as a one-story newsletter. So it might be how to improve your company page or how to do an audit on LinkedIn, something like that. But you could do it in a different way where you're breaking down what you've talked about that month on LinkedIn. What we do with clients is we tend to take a topic and create the whole month's content on that topic. And then the newsletter is kind of where you pull it all together. So I think maybe that's what we. All right. So yeah, I think so. I think having a monthly newsletter is a great idea. And you could, so if you're a YouTuber, so Gareth, if you're still here, you maybe went to your client call. If you have a series of videos that you do once a week, your newsletter could talk through those things and send people off to check out that YouTube video. That would be another great idea. There's lots of ideas for how to do your newsletter. It's just creating it as a resource that people actually want to read. That's the key. So can you write something in a way that people want to read it and learn from you? And even better, share it to somebody else. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. So I won't be here for the next 2 weeks, but then after that, the idea is that we become consistent with this, and I will be bringing you news you can use about LinkedIn and other tools that we may find useful to help you with your business here on LinkedIn and beyond. If you're not yet on my email list to get notified on that, you can easily join it and grab your free video guide. So go to louisebrogan.com/video guide. That will put you on my regular email list where you get notified of new content that I have on YouTube, this weekly live. All right, folks, thank you so much, and speak to you all again soon. Cheers.